pressure your shield. And there's a really big balance between how good is shield, how good do you want shield to be, and how fast the pace of your game is.
For sure, for sure. And, you know, so far, I do mostly like what they're doing with parry in this game. There's definitely this weird thing where I'm not entirely sure I agree with, like, the baseline idea, but I think that as far as how they're executing that idea, it's about as good as I could ask for. It just definitely took me a couple days to start consciously...
That was crazy.
Insane. Well, unfortunately for Kusi, he does have SolarBeam Loxodont Extraordinaire coming up. Just general heavyweight extraordinaire, as far as I'm aware. You probably know more about SolarBeam than I do, but I believe he has dabbled in Rivals 1 as an Edalus player. Unsurprisingly, almost all the Edalus players are playing either Loxodont or maybe Maple.
Yeah, last time I super checked, he played Ridley in HDR when Ridley was crazy. I believe he probably dropped him since Ridley got changed. But still on the heavier side of things, playing with the big bodies. I feel like that's not too crazy. And weirdly enough, I feel like Loxodont in general is one of the more reliable characters in terms of direct coming from Smash to Rivals. And it's really hard to describe, but Loxodont feels like an HDR character in a lot of ways, where the hitboxes are big, you know, they're disjointed. He's got kind of a weird mechanic where he gets the down B, which sets up into combos. Like, he's got a lot of very HDR-esque kind of development things, where he was also the first character I gravitated to.
Yeah.
In terms of just, like, this feels familiar.
It's funny seeing the two, like, Rivals 2 newcomers on screen, because I feel like Fleet reminds me a lot of, like, your conventional Smash donor, where Loxodont does give me those Rivals vibes way more. Mostly because there's a lot of Rivals characters that just put things on the floor, and Loxodont puts something on the floor. But I can definitely see a bit of that with HDR as well, because I know HDR strikes me, like, from what little I've played, it definitely seems like a game that is willing to go extremely off the rails with the character design in the way that Rivals often does.
They're willing to do something as quirky as, like, the lava puddles on the ground. Definitely. And I think, honestly, I think it's a hitbox thing more than anything. HDR has a ton of just, like, super generous hitboxes that, like, either linger or just, like, big and disjointed, that allow you to play neutral in a kind of way that lets you set the pace. And I feel like Loxodont, when you're in that neutral situation, plays a lot. Again, very familiar if you're an HDR player, where you get to set the pace, you get to anti-air if someone approaches you, you know, you get to wave that forward tilt if you want to put pressure on someone, and it's pretty safe. There's a lot of things that are just, again, familiar to that playstyle, whereas other characters you have to adjust a little bit. That being said, I feel like general consensus, these are kind of the two worst characters in the game.
People are definitely not having the most faith in them right now, especially Loxodont. But we've still seen quite a few fleets doing some work. Not as many in this bracket. It has mostly been Kiv, who should be in the other losers 8 set here. And, you know, Kusi on the random, trying to make this fleet work out as best he can right now. Definitely not a character I traditionally think of as a Kusi character, but taking that first stock, it's clear that he does still know what he's doing here.
And I feel like Kusi's a good enough player where, you know, you have the fungies that try to play every character in the game to a certain degree. We might not be seeing any of the kind of crazy fleet stuff that you might see a fleet dedicated main do, but fundamentally, you're going to be feeling okay about it.
For sure.
And I feel like this matchup, as far as, you know, good matchups for fleet, I feel like you couldn't really ask for a better one.
I would definitely imagine that, yeah. I can see this one being a very frustrating one for Lox. Just, like, not having very much mobility. You do have a couple things like that down B, but, you know, very limited resource with a very predictable arc, so...
And we've seen a couple, in this beta in particular, a couple of weird nerfs. Both Loxodont and Fleet got hit in, I don't want to say super meaningful ways, but definitely in ways that they feel, right?
Sure.
There's definitely a clear difference in how they're playing and what you're able to do to a certain degree. And so, oh, he actually saved by his own rock.
Yeah, the Evol's gonna save there, but Kusi's still not in the best spot. Really, neither of these players are, but see what happens here. Back to a neutral situation. They're just trying to find their opening. And Fleet is going to be able to get away with just kind of zoning and racking up safe damage on Loxodont. But actually finding that kill is going to be an entirely separate story.
Yeah, I feel like SolarBeam is really comfortable right now playing at the mid-range and even playing around the projectiles that Kusi is throwing out. Because unless you're getting hit with the tornado part of side B, Fleet isn't really setting you up in a reliable position to kill. And so just being able to play around there, no, I'm going to get hit sometimes, as long as I make sure it's not one of those big significant hits. I'm a heavy character, I'm Loxodont, I'm gonna live, and I should be taking the stock first. So I like to slow down and pace a little bit, even though it's against the zoner. I think it's more a matter of looking for your moment, as opposed to not knowing how to get in. Definitely trying to find that back air. Really reliable kill move for Loxodont. The neutral B in the air, also a really, really cool kill option. Has some magma to use to get back to stage. Chooses to spend it there. Goes for the get up attack, and the Nair is just gonna do it, which means Kusi gonna be up on this stock with the neutral air, or the neutral B.
Yeah.
Pardon me. That's a cool move, honestly. I really like that the initial hit of neutral B kills. I think that's a cool, fun way to give a Gordo-type move some other utility.
Yeah, it really is. And I've seen some players compare it to like a rush rev move, with the way you can just kind of charge it and potentially go for those, like, just hold it and get a huge finisher. Feels really good on those occasions where you're able to pull it off, even if they're somewhat few and far between.
We're seeing that the up throw from SolarBeam here isn't actually leading to a combo just because of how floaty Fleet is. I would like to see him potentially go for a down throw, just to try and either put her in a tech situation or have her not be so high in the air, so it's a little more reliable to follow up. I feel like just going for the up throw over and over again when it's not working is kind of giving up some of the potentially free advantage you could get. Or if you're choosing to go for up throw in those situations, go for either special pummel or just the regular pummel to make sure you're getting at least some bonus advantage off your grab.
Ooh. Kusi giving up a lot of space here, trying to eat these apples, get his stamina back up.
Does his dash attack get bigger when he does it in the lava puddle?
It gets, yeah, there's a little like splash at the end of it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And there it is, just barely managing to get that up strong to kill at the end.
Was that real? Is that like, I believe the down throw up smash is real on Loxodont just because he's floaty like that, but the second hit looked kind of real. I don't know if SolarBeam maybe just wasn't ready to react.
I mean, I think it works on a lot of characters, honestly. It's just like a thing that Fleet can do. Just the, the specifics of like when you're able to go for it are going to change from character to character.
All right, this is going to be worse.
Yeah, so this is presumably what Kusi actually wants, as far as I'm aware, he is a master lead in this game. I have seen him play a bunch of other characters, particularly Meeple.
Yeah, I've seen both.
Master seems to be when things are...
When things are tough.
Yeah, or like when he wants to start out his best, he'll go Raster, and if that doesn't work out, maybe like the Meeple or the Zeta in the back can be a useful tool.
And I feel like this is... I mean, it immediately looks more comfortable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These tech situations are coming through. He knows what option comes after the next. The flowchart looks really solid.
Yeah.
And he's not giving SolarBeam enough time to actually play the game, which, much like how you beat Craig, is how you beat Loxodont.
And not for nothing,
are big enough and slow enough that you can make them not play the game.
We were talking a bit about parry earlier. You can also see another application of parry throughout that entire stock, where if you parry an up B, they don't get invincibility on the ledge. And Kusi playing Raster is a lot more comfortable with this mobility and the flexibility of his movement. And yeah, he's just able to literally be standing anywhere on stage with such a fast character. You can just kind of be anywhere and potentially turn that into a very advantageous situation. That is kind of always how Raster's been in a way. And while they're still trying to find their sweet spot for him in this game with where exactly they want him to end up, giving a character this much mobility and a dedicated move that makes you the fastest character in the game, or at least potentially the fastest character. Obviously, that is a ridiculously good strength that Kusi is taking full advantage of right now.
Yeah, Raster is a really interesting character just because of how fast he's able to swing games. Like, we're seeing individual hits like this. Kusi is able to take them so far because SolarBeam's actually not able to find a button. And that forward air off stage is just a straight up death sentence. I feel like you have to, against like all instinct, DI that out. Just hard the whole time. We're gonna see the Loxodont Ditto come off the back of the random if he does let it rock.
Alrighty. Well.
I just sub to Rivals 2 game. The people were waiting for one of those. That game was quick. And I feel like as people get more comfortable with the game, the pace will probably increase. I feel like because people aren't as comfortable with the flowchart, aren't as comfortable with you know, how to punish people, where to punish people, with what some of the newer characters can do, or what some of their characters can do with their new options, it makes it a little bit more difficult because people are missing tech situations, or people are missing true follow-ups in situations where they won't in the future. If he beats him in the Loxodont though, that's tough. That's definitely not where you want to be if you're SolarBeam. Alright, the back air comes out. Kusi in a bit of a tough spot off stage, spends the magma. Ends up sending him to the other side of the stage, comes up aggressively, and now finds himself in advantage. One back air by the ledge will kill at this percent.
Right, they're using special get up to get back on stage. I do feel like Loxodont, you know, very simple special get up, but one that can catch a lot of people off guard with how fast it is compared to some of the other ones.
I feel like part of it is it's so big.
That too, yeah.
Regardless of even how fast it is, it hits almost center stage, and so a lot of people used to kind of ledge guarding and smash, and the range you have to do that at to dodge get up attacks are going to be caught a little bit off guard by just how big it is. Alright, sent off stage. Probably going to side B. No, actually opts to spend the magma to get back on stage a little bit quicker and then use the get up attack to interrupt the forward smash. I feel like misspaced a little bit. You can probably space that in a way where it actually dodges get up attack. Letting some smash attacks rip. I feel like this is another kind of unique Rivals thing, is how good smash attacks are in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case for
honestly,
Rivals
I think
1.
It's even more the case in Rivals 1. There are very, very, very few moves in Rivals 1 that are just explicitly bad or like useless. There's a lot of characters like Orcane where you use your strong attacks as the first option, or oh my god, down air.
Holy.
But yeah, no, there's
some stuff. We're going for some stuff.
There's so many strong attacks in Rivals 1 that are unironically just like combo starters or like combo extenders. But like they can still kill. They can still do the thing you want a strong attack to do. It's just that they also at lower percents can extend combos and stuff.
They do something else as well.
So like, yeah, it's not surprising. That's something that I've always really appreciated about Rivals, just every character feeling so viable and almost every move also feeling like it has its place in the kit, even if every once in a while one of them is kind of a dud.
Yeah, it feels like so many of them are so strong in the way that like they're either safe, or they have really strong kill power, or they're both, or they're a combo starter. I feel like my Smash brain, and even other flat fighters' brain is like, don't strong attack, right? Like it's bad. You do it if you have a read or if you confirm into it. But I think a lot of the times in this game, you're able to throw them out in situations that are like medium risk, high reward, where in other games they'd be pretty high risk.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely see that. It's a little skewed for me because I mostly play Clarin, but you know.
That's very fair. I feel like I play Zetterburn, I'm like, you can just up smash.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the down. I don't know what the down.
And down smash.
I don't know what the down strong
crazy.
frame data is in this game, but in Rivals 1, the first hit of down strong is frame 5.
It feels like that in this game.
Yeah, it just scoops people. It is unironically like one of the best scramble tools in the game, potentially.
It's so fast. There, like I said multiple times, where I'll just do it. And the same with up strong. It's like, why not? You win the game if it hits, and you just reset neutral if it doesn't.
The best setters also do that in Rivals 1, so you're not off base.
Alright,
anyway,
I'm learning quick.
People are lots of damage being thrown out, but Solar struggling to find the kill on Kusi right now. The big shift here from some of these lighter characters in the previous game to the Crag right now.
Yeah, this can be frustrating. It can be frustrating playing against someone who can play a lot of characters, and particularly Kusi right now playing random, of all things, it can be really annoying when you are like, okay, I have a read on this character, I know what to do against this character, or like, you lose a close game and you're like, all right, run it back, I got it next time I have the read, and they pick a new character, and all of that kind of knowledge you had, other than just individual player stuff, is kind of gone. That sucks. I played a lot of random in Smash Ultimate and got a lot of complaints about it.
Yeah, it happens. I feel like the game's getting a little more even right now. Some big damage coming out, the fairs, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think one of the problems is how is Loxodont supposed to kill Craig? Right? A lot of time it feels like he can kind of convert into a back air, get something cheeky at a lower percent. Craig is going to live a lot of that stuff, so he has to find a raw hit either on the smash attacks or a back air by the ledge if he doesn't want to kill above 150, which sucks if you're a heavy character where your kind of thing is you should be killing. What is happening? He's just jabbing now. We're watching Rivals gameplay right now.
Oh, much Rivals. What it's all about.
The people learned you can Craig jab, and there's nothing you can do about it. The back air is going to do the trick at 190%.
Yeah, well, the fair and immediately off the respawn plat. You can act so fast from a respawn, and that is
I feel like the DI had to be bad there.
Oh, absolutely.
130 on Loxodont, I feel like...
No, like that probably was no DI, so like SolarBeam also messed up, but you know, is what it is. Now, as it turns out, the other losers' top 8 set did actually get played off stream, so Kib beat Evil Nardwar 3-2. So with that, I don't think we've had a dedicated Fleet player on stream all day today so far. Oh my god, so Evil Nardwar just chimed in. Our set was game 5 and the last 2 games